Expand the following product. So let's get straight to it, and I will explain how to do this. You will see this in your test and you will see this in your exams, but do not worry. Let's go ahead. So they will ask you to expand. So the first thing you do when you expand, you need to remove the brackets. And how you do that is you multiply the outside products with the products within the bracket. So we will say your 3x multiplied by your x, and then your 3x multiplied by your 2. So your 3x times x will give you 3x to the power of 2. And the reason why it is to the power is because your x times your x will give you x to the power of 2. That is math. So you will not get x times x will not be 2x, not at all, okay? Only if you say x plus x, then you can say 2x, okay? Okay, so now we have your 3x to the power of 2. Now your 3x times your 2. So here we need to multiply your 3 and your 2. So your 3x times your 2 will give you 6x. Okay? So your final answer will be your 3x plus your 6x. Now we go to your question 2. So here we have two brackets. So what we are going to do here is we have to say your x multiplied by your x of the other bracket, and then your x multiplied by your 5. Then we have your 2 multiplied by your x, and then your 2 multiplied by your 10. So how you do this is you just say x multiplied by your x plus 5, close your bracket, plus 2 multiplied by your x plus 5. To make it more easy for you, how we are going to do this now is we'll just say, okay, your x multiplied by your x, okay, plus your x multiplied by your 5, and then we move on, plus 2 multiplied by your x, and then your 2 multiplied by your 5. Now this has made it so much more easy. So your x times x, remember what we said, is x to the power of 2. Then your x times your 5 will just give you 5x. 2 times your x will give you 2x, and then your 2 times 5 is equal to 10. Now we need to gather all the information to make it a bit more simple. So we have your x to the power of 2 plus your 5x plus your 2x, this is your 7x, plus your final 10. That is your final answer. We move on to number 3. We do exactly the same thing as we did before. So we need to remove the brackets by multiplication. So we will say your 3k, your first step, is your 3k multiplied by your bracket k plus 9. And then your minus 2k minus that bracket again, k plus 9. Then we go a bit further. So your 3k multiplied by your k, and then your 3k multiplied by your 9. Then your minus 2k minus your 2 multiplied by your 9. Then we can go ahead. So your 3k times your k. So k times k will give you k to the power of 2. So we have your 3k to the power of 2. Now here we have your 3k to the times 9. So k will remain the same, okay? The only thing that will change is your numbers in front of k. So your 3 times 9, 3 times 9 gives us 27, so we have your 27k. Just like the previous one here, your 3 will remain the same because you cannot multiply it by anything else. Only your k changes, becoming k to the power of 2 because we said k times k. Okay, let's move on. 2k, so it will just remain 2k. So 2 times k will become your 2k. And then we have your 2 times 9. So when we say 2 times 9, we get 18 minus 18. Now we can simplify it by bringing together the common products. Okay, so we have your 3k to the power of 2 plus 27k minus your 2k. So these have 2 in common, the letter k and then the numbers. Okay, so your 27k minus your 2k will give you 25k minus your 18. That will be your final answer. Then we move on to our final question, final expansion that we have to do. So this says to the power of 2. So when there's anything that is to the power of 2, it means that that number has been multiplied by itself. So when we say 9 times 9, this is 9 to the power of 2, and 9 to the power of 2 is 81. Okay, and then your 9 times 9 is still 81. So meaning 9 times 9 and 9 to the power of 2, it means exactly the same thing. So now we need to reverse that. So we'll say your 2e minus 3, so this bracket multiplied by itself, 2e minus 3. Okay, now we need to go in and we'll say your 2e multiplied by your 2e, your 2e multiplied by a negative 3, your negative 3 multiplied by your 2e, and then your negative 3 multiplied by your negative 3. So we will say your 2e times 2e, close the bracket. Then we take your 2e again, multiplied by your negative 3. Then we start with your negative 3 multiplied by your 2e, and then your negative 3 multiplied by your negative 3. So you always use the number, if it's a minus or if it's a positive, we use that sign always. So now, so your 2e times your 2e. So you have your 2 times 2, which gives us a 4. Then your e times e is e to the power of 2. Okay? Then we have plus 2e times your negative 3. So 2 times negative 3 gives us your negative 6. So then this is going to change. So we have a minus over here. So it will be minus negative 6e. We move on. Minus 3 times your 2 will give you a 6. And then we have your e. Then your negative 3 times your negative 3 will give us plus 9 if you put that in your calculator, because a negative and a negative gives you a positive. So now we gather all of the similar products. So your 4e to the power of 2 is not the same with your minus 6e, because your e is not squared. But if we had a 9e, for example, then we can multiply or add or minus them. Okay, so only those ones that have something in common. Remember that. So we have your 4e to the power of 2. Then we say use your calculator. Minus 6 is always going to be your minus 12e plus your 9. Okay, then this is your final answer. So it remains the same. This e remains the same. The only way when it changes is if it's a multiplication or if we have a division. But for now, just know this. Thank you so much. Comment if you want to see me answer your questions, and subscribe so you do not miss any new videos.